Just anything.
Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest, where my show notes won't come up. There it is. This is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 7 p.m.-ish Pacific time, and I'm your whimsical yet wheezing host, Chris of the Northwest, and we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're waiting or cheering for your playoff-bound football team, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Yes, indeedy. So many to choose from. Root for the best. Good evening. Good happy Thursday evening. I'm Wits End, and we are going to chat tonight about, well, a different game. So if you're ready to level up your game, we're going to dive into the latest Munzee updates with Rob and C. Michelle. So thanks for joining us, guys. It's great to see you. And whether all of you out there are seasoned geocachers, or maybe you're just curious about new ways to challenge yourself, this episode is packed with tips, tools, and a peek at what's ahead for Munzee fans right here in the Pacific Northwest and beyond. So listeners, you know we can't do this without you. Jump in that live chat, drop your thoughts in the YouTube comments, and let's make this a real conversation. But first, well, it's time to bring in our camera-toting chimp. Some say he avoids shark attacks by vacationing in Arizona. Others say a detailed look at his search history only revealed one line: how to poison your co-hosts. All we know is we're going to be very careful about what we accept from Land Monkey.
I has cookies.
Apparently, this has become a true crime podcast.
Yes.
Rob and Craig, you guys are muted at the moment. Can you unmute yourselves?
Hey.
There you go.
Oh, we still can't hear you, though.
Still can't hear you, though.
We'll get there.
All right. Well, while they're working that out,
that's right.
A quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons to help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And before we get into talking about our Denali level supporters, first of all, I want to promote something else, which is our Discord server. Folks, have you checked out the Discord server, the Caching in the Northwest Discord server? We are sowing discord there on a weekly basis, and discontent and all kinds of things. But hey, seriously though, it's a fun place to chat on a variety of topics. Including, we try every week before the podcast, early on in the week, to throw in what topic and what guests we're planning to speak with, and that's your opportunity to throw some of your questions in as we sort out our questions for our guests. So, if you have a particular question you want to ask, you don't want to wait till the last minute, join the Discord server, throw your stuff in there, see what's going on. And there's all kinds of, Chris, what other stuff would we have in the Discord server?
Well, of course, we have chat about each and every episode.
Mm-hmm.
We have, I was going to say, what can everybody get to?
Just because let's go find this cache together. If you have a specific cache you're looking for help with.
There you go.
What is outing?
And just general chat
through that.
Yeah.
Yep. Puget Sound events.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. And of course, the famous off topic.
Oh, yes.
The off topic. Yes. Always fun.
It can be fun.
All right. Good stuff. So yeah, check that out. If you haven't joined us there, we'd love to have you join us there. Now, in the meantime, we want to throw out our thanks to our corporate Denali level sponsors. First of all, Landsharks, LANDSHARKZ.ca. They are having those online orders available for you to go check out the store and order your geocaching supplies. Next up, hey, version 8.1 is live. It is Cachly Pro, the premier geocaching app for iOS. Go and check that out. Download it. It has CarPlay support. Yay!
At last.
Yes. Find it in the iOS App Store or just go to cachly.com. And thirdly, we want to encourage you to check out Tourism Valemount. Valemount is alongside nature's beauty, a vibrant village that offers local charm, unique geocaches, warm hospitality, and unique cultural experiences. So whether you're seeking outdoor thrills or just a peaceful retreat, Valemount awaits you. And folks, if you want to know more about supporting this show, well, head on over and click that Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website.
Oh, yes, indeed. So much going on at the website, but we're glad you're here tonight on the YouTubes. So
Hey, before we break into news with them,
Yes.
I know you're chomping at the bit.
Well,
Can we
I'm
do a
just
quick sound
following
check with
notes that you
Rob
sent
and Craig.
Yes, we hear.
Sound
Can you hear
check.
us now?
Hey,
There you are. Okay.
Hey,
Now I feel so much better.
they're alive and well.
us too.
Indeed.
That's good. That's good because you sound better and you look better than you did last week, Chris.
Thank you.
So glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, last week I purposely didn't speak.
Yeah.
It made a better podcast, I think.
That's debatable.
Okay.
What makes a great podcast is great guests and a little bit of news first. And we're going to talk about Roseburg. That's a great event. I think Chris and I went to that event a while back. Their next geocaching series launches coming up very soon on Saturday, February 7th. There's a city release that said Roseburg Parks and Recreation are launching the Discover Roseburg 15 Land of Umpqua geocache series. It's a family-friendly event designed to draw people of all ages outside to experience more of the city and its businesses. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Roseburg Public Library. Park staff will give out verbal instructions and coordinate passports. We got a great coin there when we did that a few years ago. That was really fun.
I think I've got it right here somewhere.
Yeah.
Is that the one that the local police participate in?
I don't remember if they did it or not.
No, I think that's Caching with a Cop they had down in Portland. But that
Oh,
was
yeah.
2010. I mean, I'm old, and I remember that.
So this one, it says you'll hunt for 5 real-world geocaches and 15 virtual caches at special locations. Kickoff will feature an Ask the Expert table staffed by Mark Baker, a former Roseburg City Councilor, Parks and Recreation Commission chairperson. That's a mouthful. He first suggested a geocaching event to begin in Roseburg to draw visitors. So if you find all 20, you can redeem your passport for a limited edition collector's geocoin with a trackable ID number. Sounds like a great price. There are only 200 of those available. So if you're planning to go, get down there and get busy. Challenge continues until all geocoins are awarded, and you don't have to turn in your passports on the opening day. You can complete passports on your own time. But remember, there are only 200 coins available.
And there were probably that many there last year.
Probably.
People, it seemed that many on opening day. So
There you go.
if you're thinking about it, that's a fun little town to go to.
It is. It's very nice.
So it's Umpqua, Washington?
That's in Oregon.
It is in Oregon.
It's in
Okay.
Oregon, yeah. Roseburg, Oregon.
Right. Okay. Cool. Very cool. All right. Well, we've got one more geocaching related news story before we switch games and start talking about Munzee. But there is a proposed 37 site nature campground near, is it Kalama?
I would say Kalama.
I think it's Kalama. I don't know. Whatever you say, we'll go with.
Yeah.
Okay. Developed by Seattle entrepreneur and geocaching.com co-founder Jeremy Irish, that has received preliminary approval despite some other issues that they had. I'm not going to get into the details of that. The Wandering River Retreat would transform nearly 25 acres of riverfront property into a quiet, private camping destination. So there you go. There's interesting story. Jeremy Irish is developing a 37 site nature campground. Who knew?
He says
Sounds
this
great.
is part of his retirement plan.
That's cool. Good for him.
So there you go. I mean, a little light internet stalking, and you never know what you're going to come up with. Thanks, Google.
Did that come up in the geocaching news feed on Google?
Yeah. So I have geocaching and geocaching.com as a continuing Google search, and this one popped up, and I was like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
He wanted to do an event center there, and they definitely said no, just because it is down a one-way logging road and too far away from emergency services.
Ah,
Fair enough.
Can you imagine, Chris? Who would he actually, if the actual local reviewer knocked him back for any caches that he hid on property? That would be great. That would be great.
Wouldn't it though? It would be something. It was like, I'm sorry, do you have permission to put it on that land?
Yes. We needed the permission from the actual campground itself. I like it.
You
that
have
would
it.
be interesting.
I am the landowner.
Yeah, that's right.
I am
And
the
plus, I am Jeremy Irish.
That's right.
Yes, he could open another account just to hide caches on that property, right? And maybe that would fool someone.
It might.
Mm.
It might indeed.
Sounds like a good use of time.
All right. Well, before we get through too much more time, let's jump into tonight's topic and welcome officially C. Michelle and Rob. We're glad to see you guys back here on the podcast. Welcome back.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Sorry, we're a little bit late. We're in Florida at the moment, you see. So we're on Florida time, and
It's a different time zone.
Yeah,
Little
it's a bit late. So yeah, on the East Coast.
We'll forgive you. It's great to see you any time of day. And
Craig, we've
I've
talked to you a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and I think
Yeah.
you've been in a different time zone each time.
I think he
This is
has.
correct. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Lots
Okay.
of times in lots of places and lots of places to be. So
I love it.
And somewhere right now it's near 5:00. So
Yeah.
yes,
there is that.
Sure.
Hey, I've got a question here posted for Rob. You have a fascinating background from being a teacher all the way to leading a global gaming company. So if people in our audience, maybe they only know you as the Munzee guy, you're the guy with that green tattoo on your forehead. People think that's a hat, but it's really a full head tattoo there. How does that educator mindset still influence how you lead the team today?
Oh, wow. I mean, we're going deep questions
Right
straight
off the bat.
Hey, welcome back to the podcast, Rob. Here's a good one for you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely am the Munzee guy. Big geocaching events, Geo Woodstock in particular. You find me with this hat or similar, tattooed, yeah, and my green jacket with a big fat Munzee on the back for everybody to cap. So yeah, I've been the Rob the Munzee guy for 13 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, which is really crazy. But I did start off I was actually a teacher for 15 years, taught 4th through 8th grade math, depending on the year. And I fit in with the 7th and 8th graders. Basically, a Peter Pan kind of guy, never going to grow up. So taught those kids. And then a lot of the stuff that I did as a teacher, trying to make math fun, I guess. Scavenger hunt style was a lot of the things that I did. Survivor was big on TV. I brought Survivor into my classroom each semester, and we'd play part of the game, and kids would be able to choose a player there. And so I guess the gaming aspect of life, of trying to get kids to enjoy just a little bit of math, basically trick them into doing stuff math related through fun. That is what I brought from teaching into Munzee, I suppose, is what sort of a carrot is there for a player to, go and do some sort of an activity? What location do we want them to go to? And for, what? And so for Munzee, it's points. You go to locations, you scan Munzee's physical or virtual for points. So that's it. It's all about the game, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can attest to that as well. And that is that it is all about the points. Munzee is very different to Munzee of old, and we will dive into that a little bit as well. But for me, because I was an old player at Munzee as well, now a new player, and it's now a lot about the points, the leaderboards, the tables, and it's a thinking person's game now as well, whereby you can go, well, hang on, what tools can I use under my tool belt to maximize the amount of points that I can obtain and to get ahead of, Minnesota Boy who's out there, Josh, the geocaching vlogger, all your friends that are out there. You want to actually get ahead and try and go from there too. So it is, I can attest, it is about the points too. So
Minnesota Boy, you say his name and he pops up on
he's
the
in
screen.
the chat.
I mean, hey.
So I think you guys maybe led into a little bit already the question that I had, and it's been about 5 years since I've really played Munzee heavily. Open it up every once in a while, and certainly things look different. But if you had to summarize the evolution of Munzee, let's say over the last half decade, what would you say is the biggest fundamental shift in gameplay?
I can attest, and I'm going to chuck in a big name, geocaching's Munzee name now, Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, and that is his surmise of Munzee now. What Munzee is now is if you get Pokemon Go and you get geocaching, if they have a love child, that there is Munzee. So that's what he's sort of developed, and it's absolutely true. People out there who are active geocachers, which I'm Rob, we're all active geocachers as well. We love finding stuff like that too, but it's just a different game to that. It's more of the points-based game. It's not about finding the fantastic containers and the gadget caches out there. And okay, how can I make my mind work to open up this container? It's not about that. It's about finding those QR codes on if you're playing the physical game, or nowadays it's a lot of virtual games as well. So in that regards, it is very, very different. It's sort of developed more into a virtual game now and more into a points-based game, as opposed to finding caches or containers in the woods and stuff too. So that's what it is nowadays. Yeah,
and maybe just on that point, because that's the one thing I've certainly noticed is it's a much more virtual game than I recall it being. I was used to looking for those QR code stickers or tags or whatever placed in strategic places, almost a little bit like geocaching, and then scanning those QR codes. But now, definitely, I open up the phone and it's like, whoa, where did all that come from?
Yeah, the basic one. And if anyone's out there listening, any listeners out there as well, and you thought to yourself, well, you know what, I'm going to open this Munzee app up and have a look at it. Don't be overwhelmed, because it's so easy to be overwhelmed right now. Don't be overwhelmed. Think about it this way. If it's a circle, then it's a virtual, and you can cap that virtual normally within 300-foot radius on average. Some vary. If it's a square, that's a physical item. So you're looking for your QR code at that particular location, that sort of thing too. So that's your main context. So don't be overwhelmed by it. Just do that. Have a look. Do the circle is virtual, square is physical. And if you see it, cap it and learn the game from there. That's the best way we sort of say for either beginners or people getting back into Munzee as well. So.
Yep, the virtual piece, has grown a lot just because it's much easier for the entire world to help each other kind of grow the map and grow an area. So that is something that we saw, back exactly 5.5 years ago, lockdown and all that kind of stuff happening. In order for people to keep playing Munzee, all they had to do was just drop, pins, cards, Munzees, whatever, all around friends and other players around the world. So it's that's grown. So major change, I guess.
There's no reviewer in place for a virtual Munzee, because there's the item's already there. You have to place it within a certain distance from other virtuals. So it physically won't let you place one too close to another virtual, that sort of thing too. But yeah, I can post a virtual Munzee anywhere I want around the world. Now, obviously, I'm going to put it in an area whereby it's going to be most beneficial for me to get the most points. But you know what? There's Munzees, virtual Munzees in Area 51. Believe it or not, there is actual Munzees in Area 50.
Not recommended to go after those.
No. And I wouldn't recommend capping them. And they haven't been captured either, just saying, but well, not by us or humans. But, that sort of thing as well, whereby you can actually physically or virtually, place a Munzee anywhere you want around the world. So, yeah, it's very, very different in that regards to just to geocaching as well. So that's what I like about it.
Well, that's very interesting. You bring up global, though, this podcast is caching in the Northwest, though, we have shifted to a global focus. Munzee has also shifted to that global focus. So, Rob, what I'm interested in, you're looking at the growth, you're looking at how things are developing. Are there regions or demographics that you're surprised to see that, wow, this just blew up out of nowhere?
I don't know necessarily about surprised, because we a couple of years ago started putting effort into growing the game in England, the United Kingdom in general, and actually have seen good results from that. As you might imagine, a lot of our players, come across from geocaching or just from other location games, period. But mostly from geocaching. So we now have a really good group of players in England. There's another that is over in Netherlands that just kind of continue to grow, and they're the places now where some of the biggest events are held, regularly, sometimes monthly. That we wanted that to happen in a few of them, and put some effort into it, I guess.
I remember going to the little town of McKinley, Texas, and visiting Munzee headquarters there.
Yeah.
Is that still in place, or have you moved? Have you become global?
I personally have moved. That is where I lived. We were there in Collin County, McKinney, and that was always
McKinney.
Munzee
Sorry
HQ.
about that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, Munzee HQ, what we called it. And the last time that we were in our office was March, the beginning of March, like March 3rd, 2020. That was the last
Wow.
time. And we never went back to our office whenever Texas locked down. We just figured out that our team actually worked much better remote. I blame it on the fact that I wasn't able to walk around to everyone's office with my coolest new idea. So, it took effort for me to distract everyone. They had to actually respond to my pings on Discord or my Basecamp. Hey. So, our company thrived during that time. We actually, we were set up as two companies. We had merged with Freeze Tag back in 2017 in California. We had the California office that mostly worked on a couple of other apps. They worked on Z Tours and Garfield Go and a couple of other things, where we in the McKinney office, our brand was Munzee, and so that was our focus. We also had Eventsy. But yeah, when we had a chance to work from home, what we did is we actually brought two of the California team members into the Munzee team, because they had the strengths that my team in Texas was missing, which was organization, which is actually really important, especially if you're working online. You've got to get organized, and Mari is the person who got us organized, and she is fully in charge of Munzee now. I mean, almost 6 years later, she is the organizer and the driving force, I would say, behind everything. Several of us come up with good ideas, crazy ideas, and she says which ones are good and which ones we need to talk more about away from her, basically. So.
And as a global sort of company now as well, I mean, Mari and we still got people working in California. You've got someone like Minnesota Boy, for instance. He's brand new on the team too. He works for us too out of Minnesota. There's myself. I'm a traveler, but predominantly now in Alabama. And then our good president here, Rob, is actually over in England permanently now. So
that's the reason that the Texas office is no more. I am not there anymore.
So Rob, you flew to Florida. You flew to Florida from England just to do the podcast tonight.
Just because I needed to sit with this guy, not two of us in different places, different time zones, 3:30 in the morning in England. No thanks. Yeah, no, we're actually here in town for some Munzee events, big Munzee events this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Oh, we'll talk about that in a little bit, I'm sure.
Yes, we will. Okay, so we've made some references to Munzee of old, Munzee in the before times. when there was a physical office and all that kind of stuff. And, maybe there's somebody out there that played back then, kind of fell away from the games, completely lapsed. If somebody like that were to open the app today for the first time in, say, 8 years or something, you've mentioned virtuals, you mentioned a few things. Is there one feature, one gameplay element that you think that person would go, wow, I didn't know the game could do that? Maybe it's virtuals, maybe it's something else.
Yeah, no, this is a two-pronged effect, and I can say this personally from my own personal experience. When I picked up the app again a couple of years ago now, when I was back in Australia, I was having a lot of issues, mental health issues, that sort of thing too. I was in a country town. I'd already cached out the whole area, so there's no caches for me to find. Unlike geocaching, Munzees, there are certain Munzees where you can actually capture them every single day. Now, the ones that nowadays as well, what you can do, we're talking about the original, they call them greenies, and that is a free QR code Munzee sticker that you see all over the world. Those there now, you can capture those every single day, but not just anyone else's. You can even capture your own greenies too. So what players have been doing, and this is the most exciting part, I feel personally for myself, and I know Rob agrees, and that is this game is about getting people outside, getting people fresh air, sunshine. I know how much that helped me as a human being, as a person, getting out some oxygen and some sunshine when those days are gloom on the inside of your mind, not the outside. You can actually set up your own trails, greeny trails. So if you've got a local park that you like walking around, maybe you've got a local, what do you call it, a lake or a river of some sort, and you like that sort of area, then you can actually place your own greenies around that park and gives you a purpose then for your walk. So you can walk your dog every day, that sort of thing too. So I think personally, that's probably the main thing that's different now in comparison to the days of old, that you can cap your own greenies. There's other forms of things you can cap every day as well, and lots of other different types. Again, that's one of the biggest differences to geocaching, is that Munzee is designed to play whereby you maximize what you can do every single day. And those things are like, the greenies and they call them skylands, tree houses. I'm not going to get into it. It's too much.
There's a good list of at least 20 or 30 different game pieces that, you can, the replayability factor is there, and that is something that is recent. The greenies in particular is in the last, I guess 15 to 18 months. So very new. And we're here. It's the one thing that I hear from people most right now, is just kind of how that specific thing has changed, some lives, because they were getting so much into the virtual game. In the virtual game, you can drive, you can, you don't have to really go be at a spot, but with those, you've got to be there to scan that QR code. And that you've got to go from here to there to do it. And with ours, it's every 50 feet, one can be deployed. Between your own, it's further, but if you have enough people, you can deploy them. And I mean, if you're walking 50 to 150 feet at a time, you can cover quite a bit of ground before, you've walked half a mile, and now you got to find a way back and get more Munzees on the way there too. You just make it a circle.
It's very similar. I mean, in Australia, I used to love going out kayak fishing. Now, would I paddle my kayak in the ocean in Australia if it didn't have a fishing rod on it? No. Why? Why bother? It's just exercise. Why do we exercise for it? It's boring. Whereas put a fishing pole on the back of a kayak and then paddle around, hopefully you're catching a fish, etc. Then you don't even realize you're exercising. That's the same sort of thing we're talking about here with Munzee stuff, is that you're going for your daily walks to capture these Munzees. And all of a sudden, you get back and it's been an hour and you've walked a few miles and you're like, wow, I didn't even realize. So that's what it gives you purpose to exercise. That's what I like.
I think you guys have jumped into the follow-on question that I had from Jim's, which is great, which is what really differentiates Munzee from other geolocation games. And I think it's that replayability aspect, I think is maybe where you guys are going with that. But oh, sorry, go ahead, Rob.
Oh, I was going to say there is actually one more
Yeah.
thing that's very
Okay.
different about ours as opposed to others. The physical QR code piece is different in particular because anybody with virtual stuff, anybody has the ability to use, emulators or mock GPS, software, that kind of thing, if they know how to, and fake their locations and do adventure labs or virtual Munzees, all that kind of stuff. No
Or
problem.
log a geocache and not actually go. We all know
No,
those.
all of these things that no one would ever do, but with a physical QR code, like, we have the ability to verify that a person has been at that location. Like, that's what every single QR code does. And all of them are locked to, you've got to be within 300 feet of that location. So, I mean, there's actually secret codes that are built into the Munzee. So you can't just have someone like scan it and then tell you what it is or send it or make your own or any of that. It's not possible. So that, like, you're very, very, very likely to have been actually at that spot when you're capping it. So that's different than the others.
And I will say as well, I was listening to another podcast, and Brian from HQ, he was on that podcast, and he was talking about having some sort of NFC tags in caches, so people can actually, so you can physically have to be there in order to tap that particular cache, that sort of thing too. So I was listening to it, and I was screaming, going, "It's called Munzee! It's called Munzee! Talk to us, and we'll get stickers for you." That sort of thing too. So we do have those sort of issues around, but luckily with Munzee, we don't have that problem because it is actually a location based game. So yeah,
I would love to sit with Brian and tell him not to do NFC. It's a terrible, terrible idea. We did it for about a year and we squashed it on purpose. But hey, if Brian wants to try, I'm more than happy to watch and chat with him before or after. It'd be great.
There you go. The offer is out there.
Yeah.
Guys, I do have a follow-on question though, and it's a clarification because you were using some terminology before that. I think I know what you mean, but maybe if we've got folks who are new to the game who are watching, they might not follow. You use the term greenies. What is that?
So greenies are the original Munzee, and what the original Munzee is basically just the QR code sticker on the pole. That's all it is. So a greenie signifies they're normally green in color on the app. They're a free Munzee. They're the base Munzee. So they're the original Munzee. So anytime you place a Munzee, because if you're a player like geocaching, if you're a finder, you can be a hider as well. So if you place a physical QR code on a pole, for instance, and it becomes a greenie first, you can leave it as a greenie per se, which is just a basic Munzee, or you can develop that into and turn it into something different, something new, something out there like all the extravagant types we have out there now as well.
Rock, paper, scissors. You want to play that game? Yeah. Cool, we got it. You want to? Yeah, I mean,
there's lots of different ones.
That's where we get into the 100 different ways that you could change a greenie into something more attractive.
That's right.
Very cool.
Something more like unicorns and dragons and things like that. It seems like you've really leaned into some kind of fantasy campaigns recently. You think that was an important move into the immersive narrative style of that?
I think it's like you've gone straight into Dylan's brain on our team. Dylan's in charge of creative. I think that he's creative director or something like that. He's the master of media. He's the one in charge of all the art, everything that we do in that direction. And I believe, I don't remember if it was early last year or late the year before last, that we started having some conversations about, more theming around Munzee in particular. And so there were a couple of pitches of different directions. Do we take Munzee into space? Do we take Munzee back to medieval times? Do we take Munzee? There was a third option. It failed. So we don't
talk about the third option.
Not important at all.
No, we don't know that one. I can't even remember. We did. That's exactly you. I mean, you nailed it with just talking about those three types. Cappy is our mascot. And so it's Cappy the unicorn. And if he's got a special place that he hangs out the camp hub in the app, and it looks like an old medieval tournament ground.
Okay.
And it is the place where everything kind of runs off of that hub, and so that you can do all of the deeper dives, I suppose, into Munzee, things that we shouldn't talk about now on a surface level. There's here's how you play the game. But yes, the theming is there, and we went, I guess, kind of like geocaching. I know they are, in looking for a younger generation to come along and play. I mean, you'll just throw it out there, honest and exactly what it is to you.
Sure.
The community at large is definitely a higher age range than phone users, and kids. Trying to get kids to come in and play either of these games. Pokemon Go has an obvious advantage there, but Munzee and geocaching can be used as great tools as well, just for all of the fun that can be had. So yeah, why not? Why not go fantasy direction? That's what we figured.
And I will say as well, the artwork involved. So we've got, as Rob said, Dylan, he's the artistic director and storyline, but he also works with an actual artist, a digital artist as well. And so we've got a digital artist, Andy, on board, and the artwork that he has created for all the different types of Munzees is phenomenal. And so we have people, even we'll say middle-aged in their 40s, they're looking at some of this artwork, and they're going out and actually capturing these, what they call bouncers, these things that bounce around the map. They go out and capture them. Why? Because they're cute. You see, so it signifies in their minds as well that it's a pretty looking game. It's an attractive looking game. There's lots of color. There's lots of it's the same thing as when you play, I was going to say poker machines or the slots, whereby you don't go and play a black and white slot. You play one with all nice colors and make some noise and some sound, and it looks pretty because it's entertaining. And so that's another reason why we've gone that route in regards to dragons, unicorns, Cappy, that sort of thing too, because it's just more entertaining. There's a lot more bigger storyline at play too, so that we can do. So we can actually do a full storyline in Munzee that you can't do in other location-based games because it's predominantly virtual games. So yeah.
Okay, so it's predominantly a virtual game, predominantly a digital game, but you still consider the physical gathering of players so vital that you're there for, is it Munzee Mecca that's coming up in Florida?
That's right.
Why the stress importance on physicality if it's a digital virtual game?
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
It is. It's important for all of us to connect. I mean, it's the same reason that we go to Geo Woodstock. That's like a commitment, I think, isn't it, for so many people? Like, look, we're going to be at Geo Woodstock every year, or this one's close enough, I can make it to this Geo Woodstock, and the celebration that is heard, from everywhere when that's announced and it's in your side of the country.
I think I saw you in West Virginia this year or last year.
Yep. I was there. I didn't go to the one in Canada, but otherwise I think this was my 10th, something like that. I enjoy it. I like, if I didn't have to do some of the admin side of this job and all I had to do was what I did when I started way back when, 12 years ago, I was just going to events and hanging out with the players and just having a good time. Man, that was amazing. Now there's a whole lot of other stuff going on, but it's, if we have these events and people are literally traveling from all over the US to come here to Florida, and we're in Fort Myers this weekend, like right now. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's a total of 4. There's 4 more events that are going on. We actually had 2 earlier today. Players have come from California, Minnesota. We've got people that have come down from New York for sure. There will be a couple that will probably bounce from overseas, but we don't always know exactly who's going to show up. Our term of mega is much smaller than geocaching terms because we just don't have the gatherings of people. We have them spread out more all over the place. But these are kind of the big events. And Florida's weather is usually amazing in January. And if nothing else, it's not as cold as everywhere, up north, Minnesota, for example.
Much less snow.
Yeah.
And I'll add to that as well in regards to Munzee events. And what I personally love about Munzee events is, as we said before, you know me, I do love a chat, believe it or not. And so I like to talk to people and stuff like that too. But Munzee events, they're held differently, whereby you can place out physical Munzees in an area, like around a park, etc., around the event, and it gets people walking together in groups or in pairs or by themselves, whatever they like, to capture these rare event Munzees. And then they're within 24 hours, they're lifted. So they're gone, never to be seen again. You see, so it's rare to get that sort of thing. But what I like best, and I love this, it's so funny to watch, and that is, in geocaching terms, you're there and you're connecting with other people, and your phone's in your pocket because you've got no geocaches to find unless you're doing adventure labs, right? That's it. But think about it this way. You're in a park and you've got 20, 30, 40, 50 people all sitting around talking to each other with all the heads in the phones, in their devices, playing and talking at the same time. So they're talking head to head, like top of the head to the top of the head, and everyone's listening to everyone else. And so you're having decent conversations, but you're doing 2 things at once. Now, unless we're talking about the adventure labs where you sit in the car and you talk to your friends in your car as you're doing that, the adventure lab art, that sort of thing too. It's similar to that, but on a bigger scale and an event scale. So because what happens at events is that events are published on the calendar. And as Rob said before, whereby you can place a virtual Munzee anywhere in the world, even if you're in Alaska, you can publish one for Florida. And so what people do is they know where the events are coming in, and so they'll put Munzees in the event locations. You see, so they capture the points, what they call cap-on points for other people who are at the event, capturing their Munzees. And again, that's part of the whole point system of the game, etc. too. So you'll find that there's these hot spots in and around the areas of Munzees, and you always know you're in a hot spot that there was an event there at some point in time because there's a lot of Munzees in that park. So a lot of virtual stuff too. So, but head down, top of the head, talking top of the head, and everyone's in their phone. It's funny to watch. You get in trouble for that if you did that as a kid at the dinner table.
Right.
But at a Munzee event, it's just common.
It's encouraged.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. I'm playing the game.
You play and I play. We can still talk, but you play and I play.
No problem. No insult. We've mentioned a couple other team members. So before we move off of events, I should also say that events are really important because it's the part of the company that my wife runs. She does an excellent job. Lou, thank you. She's I know. Well, she won't hear this, but just in case anyone else does and tells her that
it'll get back to her. Don't worry.
It always does. It always does. No, but she runs our events across the world. She's in charge of working with all the hosts, and she's got some great relationships with people that she's never met. From all over the world that host these events, and the way that we can set up those relationships with other players and building communities is what we're really doing. That's the big picture, why it's really important, and we put a lot of effort into events and why we travel to them ourselves.
Interesting. Very cool. Well, on the note of travel, that's a good segue into what I'm curious about as well here. So for myself, my brand is all about geocaching as a tour guide. And the reason for that is because I've learned over the years that it is an opportunity. It's a way to take you to like hidden gem locations that maybe you wouldn't have found otherwise. So now I'm curious how Munzee would fit into the toolkit of an adventure traveler. Does it help people find hidden gems that aren't in the travel brochures?
Like geocaching, a hidden gem isn't a lamppost, a bison tube under a lamppost. That's not a hidden gem.
No.
So Munzee's the same. A physical Munzee on a lamppost isn't a hidden gem. We all
Right.
get that, but it's all part of the game. But for me, what I think is more important are these different types of Munzees, and they're called POIs, or places of interest. And those places of interest can be things like, museums are out there. There's places whereby it's something artistic, or something, even libraries, even your local bathroom, for instance. Well, you can put a bathroom POI. So if you're driving along the highway, when the next rest stop has it, there's a bathroom POI up here, we can stop there. So those things they're called places of interest. Again, that's just one of those types that you can cap every single day. Quick story in regards to a place of interest, and I'm not sure if I've told Rob or not this, but when I was living in New Jersey there for a while, lo and behold, I come across an injured bird, and it had a broken wing, and I scooped the little fella up. I'm like, okay, here's an injured bird, and I had my friend with me, and she said to me, where do we take him? I said, there's a vet around the corner. She's like, what is there? She's lived there all her life. I go, yeah, just around the corner, drive me to the vet. She didn't know it was there. I knew it was there because the vet POI was there, which I was capping every single day. So I saved a bird. Munzee saved a bird's life. That's what I'm going to say. So there you go.
Another story for me to hold on to. Thank you for those bad days. Oh, that's fun.
Love it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard that this year, 2026, is the year of AR glasses, of, computerized glasses. And they might be using a term, I'm not sure if I've heard it much lately, called AI. But yeah, everybody's talking about AI and augmented reality, right? The big goggles are gone. Now we're just looking at, back to the kind of the Google Glass look.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys incorporate, well, we know you've tried NFC, right? That didn't work so well, but you tried it and you stuck with it for a year. Are there any technologies like AI or AR that you're looking at that may be incorporated into the Munzee verse in this next year?
In the next year, I could say
year.
not in the next
Wow.
year. That's not.
Okay. Okay. Well, then never mind.
We can't move at the speed of Rob. That I move at the speed of now, and and that's why sometimes we've missed. I was early adopter on Google Glass as well. I thought they were amazing. I was like, Munzee needs a pair of these. We're going to figure something out with this. And so we had a pair around the office that really we just played with. I mean, snap pictures, and that was about it. We never, we were rookies very early on. And so we weren't ready for that. I don't think the world was either at that point. But we're using AI in several areas right now, same ways that lots of people are, for cutting down on some of the work that is I don't know, a little more in the background. Yeah, the repetitive types of stuff. We've got a new teammate called Chad because we just all got tired of saying Chat GPT, so just Chad. So let's ask Chad what he thinks about that, and may help come up with names of badges or different types of things like that. Help Dylan with designs for things. I've definitely had conversations in this direction of things that might be possible for Munzee in an AI world, but we're not quite there yet. We've got a few things.
I mean, it was probably about, I think, 4 years ago now, part of the GIF events, the Geocaching International Film Festival, there was a GIF video out there where the person put on like a set of glasses, like augmented reality glasses, AR glasses, and went around and it's like, and found the actual geocache because of that, and it was quite funny because, there was like an alarm sound because the muggles are coming, so it was very, very clever indeed. I see geocaching, I see Munzee, I see any of that sort of stuff too, can adopt that sort of game behavior. Now, there's a two-pronged effect in my personal opinion in this, and that is, number one, you've still got to get outside. So you still got to be able to do the walking. You can't be sitting in the couch, and go in the virtual world. that could be another game piece, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. You know,
That's
that could
a spin-off.
That's a
not the
spin-off. That's a
same
different
games.
app. That's
Yeah.
a different app. But for this one here, I can see later on down the track whereby, you know, you will have the items that we have as bouncers, for instance, like Cappy, you know, like the unicorn, and they'll move a little bit around or whatever, or make some noise or do something and spin around and stuff too, and be like a bit like Pokemon Go when you capture a Pokemon with a Pokeball, that sort of thing. I can see that happening with augmented reality glasses and that sort of stuff too. So with Munzee, look at Robbie sitting there now just going, "Oh, Craig, why say this for?"
Quiet you.
Oh, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, no, that's all. This is all coming from my head now. This is all just from the.
Yep. There are a lot of possibilities, and we've got the art. We've got an excellent like art team, and I would take our art into a bigger world at a moment's notice if I got a chance, you know, for it. So, yeah. I think I'm excited about the way that some of AI is going. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I think you have a very standard answer of, we can use it here, but we're not sure what else it can do for us right now.
Yeah.
Well, as you develop those things, you're bound to maybe talk about it on the official Munzee podcast. I understand that you host that together and are over 100 episodes now.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
What have you learned about your community that maybe you wouldn't have learned otherwise without the podcast?
I can answer this one quickly, and that is, some people like to listen to my voice, some people don't. So
Can confirm.
some people, and it actually did surprise me though, and it's a genuine thing out there as well. And you guys might have the same listeners out there who don't actually listen, but would rather read the transcript of the Munzee, of the podcast. And that's what we have. We have people out there who do like to read the Munzee podcast. Now, our podcast, it's weekly. It's 30 minutes long. We don't really do any interviews per se. We just talk to each other about what's coming up in the Munzee world, what's new out there. You know, what's this new bouncer? What are the new greenies going to do? What's this going to do? What's that going to do? We also talk about like the week that was, you know, and the big point getters for the weekend before, you know, what events are coming up and that sort of thing too. So, and then I like to end it with a tip of the week, you know, like a Munzee tip of the week, so for players out there, to remind them, you know, sometimes this game that we play, it's played with your mind as much as it is played with your finger on a phone. You know what I mean? So you got to really work out how you can best get your points in that too. So that's what I've learned about our team. Anything you've learned about the?
You know what? I think maybe more like people have learned something about me as opposed to me learning about the community, because there is not one person on our team that thought that I would be tied down for 100 plus episodes of podcast weekly. Absolutely not. Like they all literally were like, sorry, Rob, like there's no way that you're going to do that. And I'm like, listen, Craig says he can do it. He says he can organize me. He says he can make it, and we'll do it 30 minutes. And they were like, you can't.
Awesome.
The proof is there. We're at 3 years or so. So
That's great.
Not bad.
100 episodes is a major milestone in podcasting. So congratulations, guys.
Very much.
Thank you.
Hand on that one.
Thank you.
Yeah. And well, I hope for another 100 more.
Well,
Oh yeah. Well, it's not going to be that long because they're weekly. So it's not going to. 100 comes up pretty quick when it's weekly.
It does.
Just saying, you know, there's 52 of them every single year. See that method, Mr. Mathematician?
It's like 2 years of podcasts.
Exactly. It's just 2
Funny
years.
thing.
104. Oh wow.
Quick message from UDAC says that Munzee Madness event in SoCal is in early March. If anybody from the PNW wants to come down.
Yeah.
There you go.
absolutely. Come and join us. We were just sitting here around the table talking about Munzee Madness events that are, I think it's March 6th and 7th. It's that first weekend in March. And we've hung out with UDAC for the last couple of years now. And the question is, how many people from our team are going to be there?
Yes.
We support that one. It's the oldest running annual Munzee event gathering. Yeah, they've been doing it since they claim to have done one in 2011. That can't be verified, but officially since 2012, definitely. Yeah.
And we've got one of the hosts flying over from California for these events here as well. Q22, Q17 is her Munzee name, Brenda, and so yeah, she's on a flight as we speak. She's catching the red eye to get here overnight to so people come across the other side of the country for this sort of stuff too. So yeah, it's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, people love to get together. You give them an opportunity to, and these geocachers, these Munzeers are going to get together. They want to get together and talk and tell their stories. So
absolutely,
people were designed for community. It's true.
Yeah, they are
indeed.
So, Rob, let's see. You've been president of Munzee since 2013.
Yes.
And as your time as president, El Presidente, what do you want your legacy to be on this game, on this worldwide game?
Wow. I mean, I hope we're at the end, because you started with a deep question. Now you toss me even deeper into what's my legacy going to be for gaming. Things have been up in the air over this last, we'll just call it the year. And we've kind of done some shuffling in our company. And as we've come out of that, I've got some new roles in the company. So I'm starting to slide back a little bit into more of a supervising, into less hands-on, and this guy and Minnesota boy, and there's the rest of the team that's been with me for 8+ years now. All my full-time team has been anywhere from 8 to 11 years with me, relying on all of them more to run the game Munzee, but also our other apps, because we've got several more. But as we've started to reorganize and we've made it into 2026, which is let's get there. I've got a coach for me to try and figure myself out moving forward into everything. And it's funny that you asked me this question, because he's asked me this question and I don't have an answer for him yet. So what you've done is put me on the spot to make sure that the next time that I'm asked this question, I have an answer.
Well, Rob, your coach called us and told us to ask you this.
Yeah.
We do a lot of research before a guest comes on, and find out their life coach and talk with them. And it's just part of the research that we do.
Yeah. What did he do this? What did he do this to me for? Quick thought though is what we've actually talked about, which is all of that community. It's what I do. It's what I did as a teacher. It's what I did, through the end of my university days and all that kind of stuff. It's just kind of people. So having a legacy, that would be amazing. I have no idea what that will be. When it gets there, Peter Pan side of me says, stick around and find out.
One of those things, and I'll wrap this up really quick. Was a recent incident that's actually just occurred. It's unfortunate. People know about the incident that happened in Australia on Bondi Beach. We got reached out to by a father who lost his daughter in that incident as well. And they were both Munzee players, and they were there for the Jewish festival, but they were playing Munzee on Bondi Beach at the time as well. And so the father reached out basically saying, look, this is what's happened. And so as Rob and the team, we got together and we organized this, they call it a bouncing virtual garden, and whereby we sell these little bouncing virtual things, and it's in the shape of a bee, because her name was Maddie B, and she loved bees. So we made it in the shape of a bee. This thing now bounces around the world, and it's going to bounce around the world for the next 10 weeks because she was 10 years old at the time. and all the players jumped on board and each bought a pin in this because obviously they get points, etc. for it. But all that money went towards her foundation, and Munzee matched it as well. So when it comes to Rob's legacy stuff as well, I do find that now that the company's changed slightly, we're sort of going back a little bit to the roots of the company, whereby we're putting back into the community too. So a big shout out to Rob for that too, for bringing that back in, and yeah, something sorrow like that, it's got memorialized, and when it finishes bouncing, it's going to land on Bondi Beach and stay there for the rest of the world to see. So yeah,
nice.
So
Thanks, man.
that's right, man.
Well done.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's a perfect place for us to wrap. Guys.
Right.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very nice. Craig, Rob, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Chris.
This was an excellent talk. It was so good to catch up with you. And folks, thank you for tuning into this episode of Caching in the Northwest.
Yeah, we want to take a moment to thank our Denali level sponsors who help to make the podcast possible each and every week. And that would be Landsharks, Cashly, and Tourism Valemount. LANDSHARKZ.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. They're shipping those online orders all the time. Cashly, well, that's the geocaching app for iOS, and now the geocaching app for CarPlay. And whether you're seeking outdoor thrills or just a peaceful retreat, Valemount awaits you. We want to thank also our other Denali level supporters who are Cool Cow Cachers, Hawaiian Maile, new supporter Alondro, and even newer Denali level supporter, Retired Guy. Wow, thank you so much to all those folks. If you want to know more about supporting this show, click the Patreon link in the cachingandw.com website.
That's right. Just like mountain bike,
Gundark 2000,
Nerve,
Flagman,
and Teus,
Whidbey Island Gal,
BC Rock Crawler,
Limax, who'll be on next week,
Just Carlo,
J-Car,
Seabeck Tribe,
B Pendragon,
Keats 94,
NW Cats,
Lost Ken,
LG 9000,
Subway Mark,
Railroad,
Sprouter,
Boomer 365,
Kitty Quest,
in the chat talking about events, UDAC,
Logwork,
Kid Vegas 19,
new patron, Fear the Tubas.
yes, you must fear the tubas.
Yes.
You Talks to Rocks.
Chris, it's my turn.
Thank you.
Alan,
Green Words,
Ackerdock,
Terrible Lunch, Great Geocacher, Gas Station Tuna,
GSM times 2,
Wet Coaster,
Peach of Washington,
Korsgott,
Genies,
Just Finding Our Way.
Doramore,
another new patron, JR and Juju.
And if you enjoyed her the last couple of weeks, or well, last week,
yeah, last week,
stay tuned. There's some more coming. JT Coffee,
CRS 98,
Trexer,
Team Noltex,
Geocaches,
Geo Birder,
Butterfly Girl,
Geo Karen.
Skyhawker,
and Camp Clan.
Oh, thanks to all of those patrons. Rob, Craig, thank you. If people want to get in touch with you directly, maybe to find out more about Munzee, maybe to just send you their special stories, maybe to crash the floor of your hotel room this weekend for the big event. How can they get in touch with you directly?
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I mean, everyone knows my social media stuff. So if you want to talk to me directly, jump on any of my social media, see my shell, SEEMYSHELL, or better off still, download the Munzee app, give it a try again, and message us through the actual Munzee app as well. I'm Semi Shell in the Munzee app, or Coach V is the other one. You'll see if you've got the right person, because we've got a little staff star around us, like this little green and yellow ring around us. So, and it says staff. So, yeah, absolutely, you can contact us on either of those things. But Munzee app is the best one.
Yeah, all the normal social media places as well. You got Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and yeah, we're out there on all of those. Yeah, check us out.
You may have a halo around your icon, but I kind of see one here too. around your guys' head. It's a little green halo. Anyway, maybe I'm running a fever.
It feels right.
We're Munzee Angels, Rob. We're Munzee Angels.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. And Chris has had lots of cough medicine.
Folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. So if you like the show, please click the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website. Better yet, share your ideas for things we can talk about, like Munzee. If you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review. If you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. And of course, you can always call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or join in as a Munzee event in Florida any time of the day or night. And you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. Join us live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. The show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jay Kennedy, and Brian Lang. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2026 by Chris Umfenauer. I did it. Barely.
Nice.
You did. Well done, buddy.
And now, folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The after show.
the after show. I think we only have one or two after shows is
Fatasifies.
Yeah.
Well, we did run just a little bit long, but it was a great chat. And I love the way I love the close there. You guys.
that was
Yeah.
really nice.
That was a really good story. Speaking of good stories, here we go. From Heather. It says, when my husband and I were driving between Seattle and Beaverton together, I would cap virtual Munzees along the way. Now I drive the trip alone, so I find them at rest stops only. I guess that would be POI Munzees.
Well, it'd be anything now, Munzee.
Or any
But-
virtual,
but-
yeah.
and
Right.
I did see this in the comment in the chat room as well. And so if you're in the after show, welcome. Thank you for staying along, and welcome to Munzee Tips and Tricks. So UDAC actually answered this question in there as well. We have a new, we call them boosters. They're things that we activate to help you do something as well. And this is the one here. That's the one here. It's called a VAC booster. VAC, virtual auto capture. So what that means is you can activate this as you're traveling down the highway, and for a 500-foot radius, as you're traveling down the highway, it'll suck up every virtual Munzee that you see. It lasts for 30 minutes or 100 Munzees, whichever comes first, and then you can reactivate the next one and reactivate the next one. So you can collect them if you're traveling solo without touching your phone by utilizing this new VAC, or virtual auto capture booster.
So I remember. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say I remember the bombs where you could just like.
Yeah.
With a certain radius, you would just automatically get all the Munzees. So, but this is like goes for a timed period. So wherever you happen to go, ideally, it sounds like this is designed specifically for that use case.
It is. It's a directional blast, basically. So a blast goes out to a mile and gets up to 100, depending on which type you're using. But yeah, this VAC is in a single, line as you're going. It's vacuuming up every.
I was going to say I love the acronym because it sucks up all the Munzees. Yeah.
Oh, it was perfect, and we've worked on this for nearly 2 years. Finally, and even sitting here right now, it's not fully 100% launched. We were testing it today while driving from Orlando, and we're still finding a few things where it's like, oh man, come on, we're almost there. It's big public beta testing, but not to every single player around the world quite yet. We're so close.
Another good question, Heather. Thank you so much, and I can answer this question. And that is, as Rob just said, this is it's in the beta testing at the moment as well, and we use our high. I'm going to say this is not a Munzee thing. This is a Craig thing. Our high-end Munzee players. In other words, our Munzee players who play every single day, who get to a status and a level itself whereby we call them Z crews. So they're Munzee crews. So they're our crew people. And so they are the ones that actually have access to this VAC at the moment as well. So that's what they have. But not long. When we say not long, we're talking about days or a couple of weeks, maybe if that, whereby we're going to release this to every single player out there as well. So
and like the questions keep on coming about this, which is great. And there it is. That's the one. Can you stack them? Yes. All of our boosters, you can stack up to 12 of them. So for example, today while we were driving, we were putting 12 on, which would last for 6 hours, or it would cap up to 1,200 virtuals. The roads in Florida, the highways, are very packed full
Heavy.
of virtual Munzees because there have been a lot of events here over the years in the Brandon, Tampa area, all over Orlando, over on the Space Coast, and now here. Yeah, so you could use one. And if you've got thousands of Munzees, that one would be done in less than a minute. And and then you would want to move on. So that's why the stack 12 makes it go longer.
And to give you an idea, like as Rob just said, you can stack 12 on them, and it normally lasts up to 6 hours. We were getting 1,200 Munzees in the space of 15 to 20 minutes on the highways here in Florida. So we then have to stack another 12, stack another 12, stack another 12.
We're doing it for testing.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And the fact is that his little tip as well, and that is, I started replaying this game and I was a few million behind Rob, etc. And now I am over 24 million above Rob and the number one staff member in Munzee. So
former staff member, number one former staff member. That's what he that's too funny.
I'm sorry, Craig. I think your halo shifted a little right there.
I'll pull it back. Don't worry, I'll pull it back.
It's dented and it is hanging on by a thread.
Here's a serious question: does altitude matter? Could someone do this in a plane, in a small plane?
If that were the case, then wouldn't we somehow have a virtual on the space station at this point in time?
Mm-hmm.
So, but we don't. Only geocaching can manage that. We do not track altitude, so it doesn't matter. It is a geographic point, and that is all. So,
what about speed?
Can you get them from a plane? Probably. Should you? No, because we've got speed trackers. So you actually would get banned if you were playing like from a plane. Anyway, people figure it out, but it's a bad idea.
So, and the reason for that, these are safety measures in place, and let's jump into some safety measures. One of which is what Rob just said, and that is speed. So obviously things like, and that will stop people from what you call spoofing their locations. In other words, I'm going to capture a few in Australia, and then I'm going to come back here in the US, capture some here. Bam, you're banned. Why? Because you can't physically travel that distance over that period of time. So there's those sort of safety measures in place. One other safety measure in place, and this is very important to a lot of people out there who don't know anything about Munzee and that are scared of QR codes, and that is within the Munzee app, there's a safety device in it whereby if you activate the camera and scan a random QR code, the scam ones out there that can take your money and all that sort of stuff, all Munzee says is, this is not a valid Munzee. That's it. So it will not scan any other QR code that is not an actual official Munzee. So there's some people out there who don't understand it too much as well, that are worried about that sort of aspect of the game. And we're like, no, this game was developed. One of the guys developed it was actually a police officer. So they know that, hang on a second, there are bad people out there that can do these sort of things. So let's put these safety measures in place now. And they did that from the very, very beginning too. So,
I don't even like walking into a restaurant and, they'll have a QR code there. Here, scan for the menu. Like, is this really your QR code or did somebody else slap it down?
This is like what I do. I do QR codes all the time. I hate those stupid things in menus in restaurants, mainly because the tech fails half the time when I go to order. There are places in England that will use QR codes to order, and it's like, oh, sorry, you ordered this, but we don't have it available. It was on your QR code that you made me order from the table. So QR codes can be good. Scanning it from the Munzee app doesn't take you anywhere. That's the nice part. But with the camera,
Or if you scan does it still work this way? If you scan a Munzee from your regular camera app, it will open the Munzee app and capture that for you, right?
if you don't have the Munzee app, it will take you to the App Store and suggest it heavily to you. If you are scanning it, it can take you to a website, to our website, to playmunzee.com is one of the places that it may distribute you. It depends on your device most of the time.
I love suggest it heavily. So it's like you scan it once, it brings you to the App Store. You scan one a second time, Rob shows up at your door, right?
Exactly. I'm there knocking. Hello. I took a
You're
picture
information about Munzee. Let me help you.
Yeah. with his bike at the front that he just left on the.
Yeah, I'm pushing the button to download and pointing it at their
That's
eye
right.
to get
That's
the
right.
facial recognition. Absolutely, I don't mind.
No, we're talking about technology here, guys. So what that means is Rob actually shows up on their phone and knocks on the window of their phone and then points to where they can actually download it. So that's what it is. So we're talking technology rather than the old school of knocking on people's doors.
So be careful,
Initiates a
Rob. He's coming up
FaceTime
with
call.
more ideas for you.
I am. See? See?
Yeah, this is
That's one of the reasons why he won't get rid of me, just saying.
and we've only what, it hasn't even been 10 hours that we've been together on this trip. So by Sunday, so many ideas that will have been discussed and forgotten that it's how we
You can start 3 more companies.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this podcast came about because of like meeting up in Florida at Munzee Mecca
3 years ago.
3 years ago. So
In a hot tub, I'll say.
this podcast, the official Munzee
The
podcast.
official Munzee
The official
Yeah.
Munzee podcast, right?
Yeah, it was birthed in a hot tub. The same hot tub. The
you may
same
not
hot
want to
tub.
put those
Conception
two
in a
terms
hot tub,
together.
not birth. Yeah.
And it's the same hot tub that the Treasures of Our Town, the travel geocaching podcast that I do with Joshua, that was birthed in the same hot tub on the same night.
So it's a very fertile hot tub.
Well, yeah. Podcast fertile. That's right. Yeah.
I got nothing.
This is the after show. It's okay.
All right, there you go.
Oh, it is it?
Well, it is the after show. Not sure if it's okay, but that's all right.
Exactly.
This is no longer PG.
Oh.
Yes, I believe it to be. We
Yeah.
can talk about fertility.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We don't need to keep on talking about it.
No, exactly. I think we've had enough
We've
discussion.
covered that now.
And
I like the suggestion then up above. Oh, time to say goodnight. Oh, okay. The suggestion above was, with the whole flying in a plane and capping a Munzee. Okay, well, I guess I'll just take a slow flight because I was saying,
Yes.
like your speed. If you're going too fast, then you get banned. Oh, well, slow flight. Slow flights don't make it all the way to where they're going. They stall out. They get too slow.
And they fall out of the
It's called a
sky.
car. They go on the ground. Yeah.
Yep.
oh, too much fun. Gentlemen, thank you so much for showing up tonight and for doing the podcast. And folks, until next week, get out, capture some Munzees, and get caching in the Northwest.